Well, welcome everyone to our Trails for Tales fundraising clinic. We have a lot of really great information that we'll be sharing today. You'll hear some details about our trip, and you're also going to hear from fundraising expert Katie Ray a little bit later in the presentation. And I've had a chance to chat with most of our hikers, either via email or on the phone, but I will be one of your MCs today. I'm also joined by Traci, who's our Chief Development Officer. Traci, I'll give you a moment if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hi there, my name's Tracy Pryor. I am the Chief Development Officer. As Erin mentioned, I've been at Pet Partners now over 11 years. That's me and my new puppy, Juggy. He's not a hiker yet because he's still tripping over his long ears, but maybe one day soon we'll get him on the trail. I'm really excited about piloting this new event. Um, to to I don't know. I just feel like we have so many folks we kind of noticed from the walk that are really enthusiasts about being active with their pets. So we wanted to offer another wonderful signature fundraiser option that was a little unique and a little bit adventurous to try to spark a new and exciting fundraising event. And so we really are grateful to our brave, pioneering, inaugural Trails for Tales hikers this year, who will help us to kind of develop this into potentially an annual event that we do each and every year. So, first of all, thank you in advance to those brave participants who are willing to kind of try it out with us.
Wonderful. Thank you, Traci. All right. So first, to kind of kick it off with, what is Trails for Tales? Traci kind of mentioned some of the amazing reasons that we're hosting this and hoping to kind of broaden our reach and involve more of our amazing volunteers. But this is a guided hiking experience where adventure meets purpose, right? This is a scenic, fully guided hike in stunning Vermont. This is going to be my first time in the state. We're going to summit Mount Mansfield. It'll be about 2.5 miles up with a gondola ride back down the mountain. All of the fundraising that happens for this event is going to support our therapy animal program and help us expand our reach and help more folks in need there. It's also a really amazing opportunity to connect with a community of fellow animal lovers. We're so thrilled to be able to offer our volunteers to hike with their registered therapy dog. Um, Once we get to the top, we're going to celebrate with a post-hike lunch and awards. It's a beautiful outdoor seating area where you can just see the mountains. So can't wait for that. And then we're also excited to visit the Golden Dog Farm. So many golden retrievers. It's a family-owned farm in Vermont, and just excited to be able to relax and unwind after a hike up the mountain. So really excited for this and for everyone to get to enjoy Vermont. And wanted to make sure we have some important dates, wanted to call those out. So the first one coming up on May 22nd, that's a Friday, we have recommitment forms due. So those need to be turned in by the end of the day. And on the next slide, we'll talk a little bit more about what recommitment is and what it means to you as a hiker fundraiser. On May 27th, we're going to have a virtual hiking clinic. That's a Wednesday. We're actually going to have the company that's supporting us during the hike come on, talk a little bit about the terrain, what to expect, how you can better prepare yourself and your pet for the hike. And then they'll also talk a little bit about things that are required for you to bring, how much water you need to pack, snacks, things that are recommended. And then on June 16th, that's the deadline. If you have any checks that you're holding on to or money orders, sponsorship forms, make sure you mail those in by that date to ensure that they get to us by our fundraising deadline of June 30th. So plenty of time to reach that $2,000 fundraising goal. Traci, did I miss anything here?
I think you've got it.
Okay. Going to kick it over to Traci to talk about our fundraising recommitment and what that looks like.
Yeah, we want to have a recommitment date when folks have the opportunity to kind of recommit to make sure that they are committed to raise the full $2,000 goal. We try to, in honor of knowing that your donors have an expectation that the great majority of the funds that you raise go to the therapy animal program. We're very committed to making sure to keep the expenses at an acceptable ratio. And so for us, we'll be investing in purchasing your hike, your guided hike experience, your golden dog, and some of the incentives and things like that. So it's important for us to know before we kind of um, commit to raising commit to spending those funds that we know that we're going to be raising at least $2,000 per hiker. So at that point, you have the opportunity to recommit to raising that full goal and with the expectation that you would donate the difference if needed. You have until May 22nd to make that decision. So hopefully everyone can get their fundraising wrapped up by that date so there's no decision to be made. But we'll provide that to you. And at that point, we'll go forward in reserving beyond deposits that we've already made the expenses necessary for the trip. And so you can withdraw at that point with no further obligation and just share with your donors that their full donation supported the mission. So we'll keep you posted on that and you'll get a recommitment form to complete. If you have questions, you can let Erin or myself know. And then we do have this exciting reimbursement that if you once you go over the goal, like say you raise an extra $1,000, you would be willing, we would then be willing to reimburse you 20%, up to 20% of those additional funds. So if you wanted to submit your receipts from your hotel, or if you're taking, transportation, if you're flying in, mileage, whatever, travel or hotel expenses are reimbursable at a rate of 20% beyond the $2,000 fundraising minimum. You would submit those receipts to us so that we could process a reimbursement. And again, that's us just staying committed to making sure that the great majority of the funds that are raised that you all secure from your very generous donors are going to support the therapy animal program.
All right. So just want to make sure that everyone is utilizing these really great tools that we have available for you so that it's easy for you to reach that $2,000 goal. You're going to hear from Stacy, who's in this photo here, or actually I'll be talking about some of her really successful strategies and also Katie Ray. But one of the really great things about Trails for Tails is we build out a personal fundraising page for you to share that link with your donors and they can go on, they can make a donation with a card very easily. It's going to track your goal there. You can see on the right hand side as people go on to support you, they're able to share some words of encouragement for you and your pet. You can see Stacy, who is one of our hikers. She's hiking with her pet partner and she's already met and exceeded the $2,000 goal. She's really taken advantage of the tools that we have available on the Trails for Tails site to share it with her community and to get those online donations there. And we'll talk a little bit more about that later in the presentation.
That photo is so cute. That looks like a photo that comes in the frame when you buy it. Like the dogs were all perfect. Look at how they're looking perfectly at the camera and she's in that beautiful backdrop. So I love that about this page is that it allows you to put personal photos on there. I think it just draws in your friends and family, your colleagues, your peers when they see you and your adorable pets on the fundraising page. So I like the fact that it's customizable and you can pick favorite shots of you in action, or if you have hiking photos of you and your pet, even better. So great job, Stacy. That's amazing.
Yeah, and Stacy also she does a really great job of personalizing her page. Like there's a piece where you can put, why you chose to hike and why supporting the therapy animal program is important to you. And we at Pet Partners think, it's really important. Make sure you share your why with your donors, your potential donors, and she's done a great job of that. So we're going to hear from Katie and River now. As I was typing up their slide here, I almost ran out of room for all these accolades that they have. But they were our 2025 Pet of the Year, our 2025 World's Largest Pet Walk Top Community Partner Team, and the 2026 third place winner for Pet of the Year. So these two are fundraising pros. I want to hand it over to you, Katie.
Well,
Another
thank you.
beautiful photo shoot. Look at this. These have got to be the best photos. But great job picking, Erin. I'm sure it was hard to choose, but between
Well, we had a good
Stacy's pet photos and
photographer.
Katie, adorable.
Well, it's all river. It's all river. Well, thank you for the opportunity to talk a little bit for a few minutes about what's been successful for us the past couple years. Excited to share that. Don't be afraid to ask. And what what Erin just said, know your why. Why are you fundraising? Know PEP partners. Know what the funds are going towards. Traci, several weeks back, I texted her one night and said, what are the great bullet points to really mention in an email or a text as we're sort of winding up Pet of the Year? And that was really helpful. But initially, I sent a huge email, BCC'd it to everybody, in my phone, basically everybody who I knew, especially knew about River and has seen what River's good work has been over the last 3 years. I also sent emails in groups, some friends from church or friends that I walk with, somebody in a book club. If you can solicit friends to be on your team, more arms and legs to spread the word, that is very successful. But one of the things we really did, which Traci and Erin know, is we did an event the last 2 years at a store called J. McLaughlin. And J. McLaughlin, here's some fun pictures. In Connecticut anyway, every 2 weeks, they work with a nonprofit, and ours was on a Wednesday from, I think it was from like 4 to 7 or 4 to 6. And anybody who came in and shopped, 10% of the sales went to Pet Partners. And the first year we raised just close to 1,000, and this year over 2,000.
Wow, that's
so
amazing.
That was time well spent. But it's getting the word out. And whether that is using Facebook, Instagram, Reels, whatever the method of social media. If you don't know social media and how to use it yourself, I bet your kids do, or a friend does. So that's a great way to spread the word. Just looking at my note just to see if there's anything else. Really, it's just don't be afraid to ask. And as the 6 weeks campaign was closing in, I went back to people who said they were going to donate and hadn't yet. I don't think I lost too many friends.
I'm sure you gained a few.
So just give it your whole heart. And it's a great cause. And some of you are handlers, I'm sure, as this audience. Some are volunteers during an evaluation. Whatever that may be, your tie-in with why you want to do this particular weekend, share that with your friends. So
wonderful.
Look forward to seeing you there.
Awesome, Katie. We're so excited you'll be there.
Yes, cannot wait.
I got to start fundraising for it.
And we didn't touch on this, but Katie, you also had raffles previously for Pet of the Year. So just wanted to show these adorable baskets that she got donated from Orvis, and encourage donations through these too. So super creative.
Right. And I also did the T-shirts, the bonfire T-shirts.
Yeah,
and that if somebody donated, X amount, that after the fundraising time, they would get a T-shirt. So Erin has been great on doing that.
Yes. And I think, Katie just mentioning like all of the different strategies that she tried out, and just kind of knowing her friends and who would respond to what method best, whether it's texting the link, someone that you want to have an in-person conversation with, or an email, just kind of knowing who prefers what and really leaning into that. So thank you, Katie. We cannot wait to see you in Vermont.
Yes.
So
and River.
Yes, and River and Rod.
And Rod.
So this is Stacy and Coda. Stacy is in Maine. She heads up Pet Partners of Eastern Maine and was the 2025 Pet of the Year runner-up. So she is working at the moment, but wanted to share some strategies that have worked for her previously. And she has already met and exceeded her Trails for Tails total. So wanted to talk a little bit about what she's done this year for Trails for Tails, but also Pet of the Year in 2025. So this year for Trails for Tails, I took a look at her fundraising page, and as we touched on earlier, she's really done a nice job of personalizing it, adding a photo that's going to resonate with her donors. When they pull her page up, they see Sweet Coda and her other pet partner, and touched on those feel good feelings. She's, got some copy that she's personalized, but so many of her donations came in simply from her asking, giving her friends and family the opportunity to support her. She shared why Pet Partners is important to her and why the work is so meaningful that she and Coda do together. And that really resonated with her audience. In 2025, when she and Coda were running for Pet of the Year, they were creative just as Katie was. And one of the things that she did was she hosted a um, photo shoot. It was around Easter time. So she worked with one of her photographer friends. She took photos of these adorable pets that came, and she donated all of the proceeds to Stacy and Coda's Pet of the Year campaign. Just like Katie, I think they raised over $500 doing this, and the pet parents got some really sweet keepsakes that they can have forever. So you can really turn anything into a fundraiser. And then something else they did was they had a Yappy Hour. They partnered with Sea Dog Brewing in Maine, and they had an adorable dog menu of cocktails, invited friends and family. People from her community partners showed up with their pets too. And then the bar donated, I believe, 20% of the proceeds to the cause to support Coda and his campaign, and just some really amazing photos. So think about, places where maybe you and your pet partner are already visiting, and odds are they would have a revenue share slash share the profit program in place that you could take advantage of. So just get creative in your fundraising, and wanted to talk about a few other ideas. So, of course, just the simple ask your friends and family, whether that be a text message, a phone call, an email campaign, as Katie touched on, social media. We have a Facebook fundraising integration on the Trails for Tails site. So you can hook up your Facebook, you can make a personalized post, add a photo, and anything that's donated on Facebook will automatically go to your Trails for Tails fundraising page. People that hook that up raise on average about 20% more than those who don't. So we encourage that to be one of your avenues. As you saw on a couple screens back, a Yappy Hour working with, a local restaurant who has a revenue share program in place. Doesn't have to be a restaurant though. As you saw from Katie's shopping event, you could work with a local boutique. We also recommend, you can have an online auction. We had a pet candidate during Pet of the Year this year actually host one. They raised about $1,500. They went to local businesses, and in the instance, they weren't able to donate money, but they could donate product. And then Jackie and Tuka, the golden retriever, created these adorable baskets and had an auction, and raised some great funds for the therapy animal program. We also could recommend, having a game night in the comfort of your own home, a garage sale if you need to do some spring cleaning, like I know I do. That's a great option to help with that, but also raise some great funds. And then another really amazing thing we saw this past Pet of the Year was the utilization of matching gifts. So we have a tool that integrates with our giving page where people are able to search for their employer when they're making their donation to see if they offer a matching gift program. And if they do, Pet Partners handles, making sure those funds are credited to you and your pet, and a really, really great way to make a difference. We had over, I think, $10,000 in matching gifts come through for Pet of the Year. And then
We had
last,
even one that had a 2-for-1 match where, like, say somebody donated $100, it became $300. So some companies even do. Some do 50% matches, some 100%, and some even do a 2-for-1 match, which is incredible and an easy way to maximize your fundraising because those companies are wanting to support their employees being philanthropic and supportive of their charity passions. And so it's a great way to reach your goal quicker.
Yes, we love the matching gifts. And then again, just local business support, if they're not able to donate to, your pet's campaign, they might offer some products. So think about these as options. We've also got tons of resources on our Trails for Tails tools and resources page, and these are just a few of them that we wanted to highlight. We have a hiker fundraising guide, and that's got lots of information on the trail itself, the hiking company that's going to be leading us up Mount Mansfield. It's got different fundraising ideas. It's got to look at some of the incentives that you can earn along the way, like our custom medals that you'll receive when you get to the top. So definitely take a look at that when you have some time. We've also got a huge list, 100 plus fundraising ideas, where you can look through and find what works best for you and your pet. We've got a Yappy Hour resource. We took a few pointers from Stacy and Coda and made a great resource there. We've also got a form where you can request a QR code if you want to make a flyer with your pet's QR code on there where they can go and donate easily. And one of my favorites, we call it a network map fundraising activity. And this is really great. You start with your name in the center, and then you start thinking about the people that you interact with on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. People that, let's say you're in a run club, or, you've got your friends and family, or maybe other handlers in your area or in your community partner. And in 10 minutes, you have this huge map of people who would probably be inclined to support you and your pet through your fundraising efforts. And it's just a really nice starting point when you're thinking about who you're going to reach out to for support. We've also got Trails for Tails logos that you can have access to. Again, the Match Pro 360, where you can see if your work supports matching gifts, and then that Facebook integration that we touched on earlier. And of course, I'm available as a resource. Anything you need to make your life easier as a fundraiser, I'm here for you. So please feel free to, reach out, call me, email anytime you have a question or you need a resource maybe that you don't see. We would be happy to create that for you.
Erin's a great resource.
Thank you. So wanted to share my phone number, email, and then you can also scan this QR code to schedule a quick 30-minute Zoom with me if you have questions that come up. But we are so excited.
Does Lucy join those as well? Because Lucy looks adorable.
Yeah, she's right under my feet as
She's
as we
available
speak.
for appointment as well. That's good to know. Thank you, Erin.
Yes, but we'll have another webinar later on in the month, again, to talk with our hiking company. So take a look at all the resources we mentioned, and if anyone has any questions, just let me know.